it's Valerie with My Stitch and Dollyverse. I am currently today sewing for my alien dolls. I have so many alien dolls now, basically because I love them so much. And I am taking some older Barbie clothes and fitting them to my dolls, you know, the sparkly kind. The ones from the 80s that have this weird material. Perfect for alien dolls. And so yeah, let's go. I am so excited. I love to have certain styles of dolls, Blythe dolls in particular, and aliens are something I already collect in all sorts of dolls and collectibles. So having Blythe dolls that are aliens is even better. In this video, so I did take some Barbie clothes and fit them to my Blythe doll. She still needs her, it's just pinned in the back right now, so she still needs her snaps and everything, but I think it's an easy alteration because Barbie is pretty close. I know that Skipper clothes can be put on Blythe dolls pretty easily and fit pretty well. And obviously these are Barbie and they're bigger. So there is alterations involved. You always have to check out to see how it is sewn together before you take everything apart to know how to sew it to fit. Because in this doll in particular, this top, it was a dress. I cut off the bottom part, which I was gonna make like a skate skirt dress. I don't want a ball gown, that's for sure. But I'll do something else. But I didn't have to take the sleeves off, or I was just gonna take it out under the arm and just take in the sleeve. But actually the sleeve was put on, which makes sense when the bodice, the side seams weren't sewn. So this whole seam on the side and the arm is one seam. They sewed this up like that. Usually in sewing, not doll sewing, but in regular sewing, you sew the side seam and then you put the sleeve into the armhole and sew it that way. But because it's a doll and it's so tiny and it's hard to do that, you sew the shoulders together if there's shoulders, and then you sew the sleeve in, if it's gathered, into the top shoulder part, and then you sew the side seam from the hip all the way under the armpit to the hem of the top or the sleeve. And that's how it was sewn. So that's how I took it in. I didn't take the bodice apart at all. All I did was take out the nasty Velcro. And that's another thing. A lot of these dresses and pants, all the garments. I even have a pair of Barbie underwear. I think it might be for a swimsuit that even has Velcro. Really? We can't put that on without the Velcro. I don't know where it is now. I'm looking for it. But it's just silly. I'm like, oh my gosh. So oh, here it is. So it's this little tiny swimsuit and it has a Velcro closure in the back. And I'm thinking either it doesn't stretch enough to just put it on. Maybe I'm going to put tiny elastic on the top, something. But I'm definitely taking the Velcro out. And I took a lot of this Velcro out of these things because, oh my goodness, besides being really old, they are so snaggy. And that's a word, snaggy, and sharp. Not like nowadays where they have the smaller, thinner, not really even sharp at all Velcro tape. Well, it's called hook and loop tape. And that does work better, but it still snags things, snags tights, definitely snags these kinds of tights I have on her. And these are too long. These are Barbie. I haven't altered them yet, but that's an easy fix. But the fishnet stuff, oh my gosh. I took all the fishnet and the tights and the ones that would definitely get snagged, the nylon ones like these ones, and put them in their separate pouch, zipper pouch, and then put them with the pants because they do get hooked on everything and they run and it just ruins them. So that's kind of why I'm going through and taking the Velcro off of everything. The things that have snaps, some of the snaps are so old. They're not rust. Oh, what is it called? The silver ones, the metal ones. Anyways, they get oxidized, is that right? They get this green and they get crunchy and they're not easy to snap anymore. I just take those off and throw them away. I go to the store, or I buy them online actually now, the snaps, the little snaps. And anything that you actually see me using in my videos, if I'm sewing with snaps, scissors, whatnot, I have a Amazon storefront that I link all this stuff in there because I'm often asked, where do I get this? Where do I get that? And sometimes the sizing is hard to tell on a picture online. You're like, what does this really look like? Or what does it feel like? Is this really gonna work? Is it gonna be too bulky? Whatever it is. So I have a storefront, and you can find the link below to a variety of things that I use. And yeah, so I'm just gonna take you through some of the garments that I have worked on, and hopefully it's, you know, it's a fun video to watch, to relax, sit down, have some tea, have some coffee, and watch, you know, a little sewing video.
And this is my pile of Barbie clothes. As you can see, I picked out anything that was sparkly, neon, you know, looked 60s sci-fi. And the first thing that I did do with a lot of the garments was pick out the Velcro off the back because it was snagging on everything and I just can't stand the Velcro. I'm sorry. I wanted to put snaps on there. So, but it's fun to just do everything at one time, you know, just sit down and take all the Velcro out. And that way I can later on put on the snaps. And this is actually a better way that I'm doing right here, where you break the threads that are on the top of the Velcro like that, instead of going under the Velcro, because then you can accidentally create holes in the garment. Yeah, so just a tip how to do that better. And as you can see, it kind of leaves holes anyways. I am going to be opening up the back seam as well and probably refit this skirt. It's probably close to fitting anyway. I love this so much, but it's that crinkly fabric that can fall apart. And it looks like each of the seams had popped from the hem up. So that's actually an easy fix as long as it fits her. This is the fabric again, the same kind of fabric, but this one, it is separating. It's perforated basically where it was sewn, and that causes a huge problem. So I'm not sure how I'm going to use this fabric, if it's just going to fray apart. We will see. I love the way it looks, and it's definitely sci-fi. I have lots of these little jumpers. That one was silver. Here's a silver top. And here's one of those snaps that needs to come off and do a new one on there. That's like a boa. I was thinking maybe a skirt. And then this is from the ice skating Barbie. And of course, definitely a snag fest with that Velcro and the tights. I can't believe that they're not snagged. That was a swimsuit, and it was weird. It has a snap on the bottom, but a Velcro on the top. Whatever. I'm going to change it. Take all those Velcros out of here. Get out of here. And now I'm going to be taking that skirt piece, that weird apron piece off of the skirt. I'm not sure what's going on there, but I have to take the seam apart. And I could just cut it, yes, but I'm afraid that I'm going to lose too much fabric going in that direction, you know, around the waist. Maybe I do need that extra, 1/8 of an inch or whatever it is to finish that bodice again. I definitely want to use the bodice piece. The skirt piece, it's not the best fabric. It's just that cheesy satin, and I don't like the color. Yeah, so it's just, I don't know, just kind of boring. But I took that off. So now I have that to use for whatever I'm going to use it for. I don't know yet. And this is the top that you saw in the beginning. And this is the dress it came from, which is really pretty. But I'm definitely not going to do ball gown. You can tell the bodice is really big. So then what do? We take it apart, open it up, look at it, and where we can take it in. evenly. If you just take in sometimes the side seams, then that's too much on the side. And it doesn't, yeah, you still have to take in the darts or something else to distribute that, amount around the bodice, not just on the side seams. So I pin the center back, and I could take those darts all the way up and make them princess seams, but then you have to take apart the neckline and blah, 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 blah. Instead, I wanted to just take in the side seams. I think it would work just fine that way. And I am pinning it here, just kind of roughly pinning it. And then I will, when I take it off, I will even it out on both sides to make sure the pins are on the right side, amount I'm taking in. And of course you can use not a marker, but like a pen or a pencil or one of those erasing pens that is meant heat erase pens. It probably is what I should have done instead of just guesstimate. But of course I was in a hurry. I'm just like, oh, I'm checking it here. This is good enough. But it ended up not being right. And I had to do it a second time, which is fine. That's why you try it on and again. So here it is. I tried it on. I took it in enough. Looks good. And there isn't any shoulder seams. It's basically the sleeve. But I can see that it's different on the right under the arm. So, but you can see that the skirt looks so good. The tights are a bit long, but I think it fits and it looks so cute. Let's see what she looks like.
Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe, stick around, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.